Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy. And this is Maggie Mae.
Join us as we follow the moon. Today we are going across South Dakota on Interstate 90. And Interstate 90 runs the full width of the state, and it's kind of a long drive. So we're going to show you some great places to stop that are right off the interstate that will absolutely make your trip across South Dakota one to remember.
That's right.
So come along.
Thanks.
And where we start is at Dignity of Earth and Sky. This is a very, very famous landmark, and it's an easy one to see along your way.
And she's so beautiful.
Absolutely. Very, very breathtaking. Dignity of Earth and Sky is actually located in a common rest stop between the east and westbound lanes. So it makes it very easy, no matter which direction you're going, to stop in, or if you're using her as a destination, you can also turn around there at the rest stop and go back the other direction. But what a view. Now, it also commemorates the Missouri River in that view and the Lewis and Clark Bridge, but they've got great hiking trails.
And that's so important when you've been out riding for a long period of time, both for you and the four-legged ones.
Absolutely. Get out, get some fresh air, stretch your legs.
And take your camera.
That's right. So you not only have the beautiful statue, but you also have this complex that's also built in that rest area that gives you, it's actually the welcome center for the state. So it shows you a lot of the wildlife you'll see in the state. That's a bison hide. And this is a keel boat that you can go up inside and actually go outside the building and have a beautiful view of the area. There you see it coming through the wall.
That's right.
But she's definitely the star of the show, and that's one of the main reasons people stop there.
That's right.
Now next up, just before you get to exit 170 going west, you'll see the skeleton man walking the skeleton dinosaur.
Or is it the other way around?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. The rope doesn't look like it's too tight there, so. This you see right from the interstate. We pulled off along the side, and then we went on up to exit 170 to 1880 Town.
I love this place.
This has been written up in the Washington Post. It's been on several TV broadcasts. That is an old barn, and we'll show you later that was moved to the site. But when you first go in, the upstairs of the barn is all full of props and sets that were used in the movie Dances with Wolves. It was filmed in southwest South Dakota.
That's one of my favorite movies, too.
I thought that was appropriate, having
Yes,
that picture hanging there.
absolutely.
This was the barn as it was being moved to the site. But the barn's not the only thing that was moved there. This 1880 town is amazing.
I would live there.
Well, there were a couple of homes there. So.
Yeah. Just take my pick.
Now they are open. Some of them have like chicken wire between you and the displays for the safety of the display. So those we didn't photograph because they don't photograph well, but the buildings are just incredible. And they're old vintage buildings that have been moved into the site.
Yeah, this is not a set.
Right. This is the inside of the saloon. They do have entertainment there. You can go upstairs and see some of the rooms that you can use your imagination what they were used for in the upstairs of the saloon. And then you've got seating all the way around upstairs and a beautiful view of the downstairs. Kind of takes you back to those days.
Yeah. You can also get dressed up in their period pieces and get your picture taken.
And they said you can walk around the town in that if you'd like
That'd
to,
be
too.
so fun.
There's the train depot. That's the actual depot, and it was moved into the site.
I keep saying I was born in the wrong period. I feel so at home there.
It's really, really done well, and it really does take you back in time. Now, they said if you walk through it, it takes about a half hour, or if you go through it and really spend the time to read about each of the different things, it'll take more like an hour. But it is literally right at the exit ramp, close by the road, and again, great place to stop, learn a little bit more about South Dakota as you're driving across it. These were the buggies that were used in Dances with Wolves. Now, next up is the world's largest prairie dog. And you see all those little prairie dog holes. I don't think he lives in them.
I don't think so.
This is a little over a mile off of Interstate 90. It's actually on your way down to the entrance of Badlands National Park.
Look at him running there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so cute.
And you can definitely tell the mamas and the babies always run to mama if there's somebody around. They do, when the store there is open, they do sell peanuts that you can feed them. Don't bring your own. They are done special for them. Also at that same exit, 131, just on the north side of Interstate 90, is this. This is done by the National Park Service, and it is a Minuteman missile site. This gives you the history of the Minuteman missiles that were used in South Dakota. There were, I believe, around 150 launch sites. And we are literally 3 miles from the entrance to Badlands National Park. And that was one thing they say is hidden in plain sight.
That's right.
These are 4 dates that the world could have ended up much differently with nuclear weapons. But it gives you a lot of insight as to why these were necessary or felt necessary at the time. That's a shot of one of them in the silos. We're going to go 15 miles west when you come to exit 116. It's unmarked until you're off the road. Just head south about a half a mile. The road goes to dirt and you come to the Delta 9 missile silo. This is an actual missile silo that was filled with an armored missile. It's now filled with a test missile, which is an exact replica, except it won't explode. And these are the test missiles that they trained the men to work on, so that if they made a mistake, it wasn't a nuclear explosion. And it's a glass dome over it. You can look down inside it and actually see the Minuteman missile in the silo. That's the glass dome over it. That door to the right there was where the people went in and out of the silo. And this is where the cover was slid back. A little bit more fun, down at 110 is the wall-drug 80-foot dinosaur. And there's people gathered around this, it seems like, all the time, taking pictures. He's massive. And this is where Wall Drug is, just a couple blocks away from here. And we do have a full video on our stop at Wall Drug, so we'll put a link to that up here at the top of the screen. Now, the South Dakota Air and Space Museum is at exit 67. Again, this is probably 2 miles off of the interstate. And this is the outdoor part of the museum. When we stopped was early in June, and I believe the third week of June, the indoor exhibit has just been going through a remodel. It's been closed for quite a while, and it's just getting ready to reopen. I believe it was the third week of June. So we weren't able to tour that, but this is a completely free attraction, and it's got some of the older planes. It's got some huge ones. That's a B-1B.
Yeah, that thing's big.
Yeah, it is. It's very massive. It's very imposing. And so is that one. Mm-hmm. There's that B-1B again. This one surprised us at how great it was.
Oh, I love this place.
Exit 46, again, this is less than a mile off of the road. You'll come to the Black Hills Petrified Forest. They've got a great movie that explains how the Black Hills were created, the whole geology of it. They've got a museum that has fossils, dinosaur footprints, and then they give you a map and you're off on a trail. And there are pieces of petrified wood like those all over.
It's amazing.
There's also a couple of viewpoints that were great. They were explaining how the petrification process works. And one thing we noticed is there's so much mica in the soil and in the rock around there, the little white shiny particles, and you'll see that in the petrified wood. That's the top of a tree there. You can see where the limbs went off. And what you're seeing here is a 100-foot long stretch, one tree that is petrified. Now, as the Earth's crust has shifted over the years, that's what's broken it up into pieces. But that is one 100-foot stretch of tree. And you can go clear to the far end and then look back to where you were walking. It's only about a 3/10 of a mile trail. There's give you an idea of the size of it and what it looks like up close. But
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It is. But this is a great little stop. This is kind of one of those family-run businesses that we love to support.
And they have a map.
Mm-hmm. That map will take you around. They're all numbered and it'll let you know what each one is. This one was the most intact one. This is what they call their lumber pile.
That just was amazing.
That was all petrified. This is their chair. And at the end of the 3/10 of a mile loop, you go in through their rock shop. And they had some absolutely amazing things in there, and most of them are for sale.
Yeah.
Now, just outside of Sturgis at exit 32 is the Saab Heritage Car Museum. If you're too young that you don't know what Saab is, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, you gotta go.
This is a way to learn it.
Yeah.
But Saab was a Scandinavian automobile manufacturer. Later in its lifetime, it was purchased by General Motors. And then when General Motors went through its downsizing, they kind of cut them loose. But they made some absolutely incredible vehicles.
And they take you through on a one-on-one tour. It gives you so much information. It's really, really neat.
This is one, they've got a little display there with Jay Leno in it, and the gray one is the one that is what he was featured with. They've got some experimental ones. They're little 2 and 3 cylinder, 2-cycle engines, and they were holding records at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Now, didn't they start out with airplanes?
Yes, And I believe they still do airplanes. They're also dabbled in boats for a while. That was one that Jerry Seinfeld used in the Comedians in Cars
Riding
Getting Coffee.
Cars. Yeah, yeah.
But it's a very extensive collection. And the cars are in beautiful condition.
And the place was so clean. Look at that floor.
Mm-hmm. But it's nice that they do go around with you and explain to you what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Just off the area where the cars are displayed, they have their engine shop where they do rebuilding of the engines. And something I found interesting, the transmission's located under the motor, so it's kind of the oil pan of the motor too. A unique design. At that same exit, if you just continue south, you've got about a 15-minute drive through the Vanocker Canyon. And this is just full of beautiful scenery.
It's so peaceful.
There's a lot of beautiful scenery in this part of the country, no doubt about it.
Yes.
But again, if you want to just take a little bit of a detour, get off the main road, take a short drive, it's very pretty, very relaxing.
The road, the highway is so diverse in the kinds of things you're going to see too.
Yeah, and it changes so quickly.
Yeah.
You'll go from the grasslands that are covered with the little yellow sweet clover to the green grasses, and then you'll start to see the rock formations sticking up through them, and then
the
you'll
trees.
the badlands.
Yeah.
And 90 going across the state is absolutely an incredible route.
It's a journey all of its own.
Definitely. And that's one reason we wanted to bring this video to you, is there's so much to see as you go across. And I know sometimes we're headed to the destination, but it is important to enjoy that journey as you go.
Absolutely.
It'd be fun to rent a side-by-side out there. Next up, the geographic center of the nation. Never would have guessed that to be South Dakota, but it is Belle Fourche, South Dakota.
Now, I wondered what made this the center when you thought about it. And it's because it includes Hawaii and
Alaska. Mm-hmm.
And there's some people who will tell you that there's another place that lays the claim too.
Now, at this same site, you'll also see the Spalding cabin. And this was a homestead, and I can't remember the number, but it was a ridiculous amount of people lived in this cabin.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like 13 people or something. Buckskin Johnny Spalding was the fellow that created this little cabin, and it has been put here. All of this is at the same site, so when you go to see the geographical center of the United States, the cabin is setting at the same site. And it's all furnished. You can go completely through it.
And upstairs.
And they had a lady there who was so nice in telling everybody the history of it.
Yes.
You could tell she really enjoyed what she was doing.
That's right.
Yeah, also leaving from that area is their river walk. And right beside it is the Tri-State Museum. You can see construction there. They're doing a major expansion of their museum. But even as it sits now, it's definitely worth the stop there. It has so much about the area. South Dakota was a lot more Old West than what I had envisioned.
Yes.
The dinosaur bones, you name it, they've got a great collection. Great places to stop and see the country. So Cathy, what did you think about our time traveling I-90 across South Dakota?
This has been a blast. It has really been fun. I loved every minute of it.
There's so much to see no matter what your interests are. And we've tried to bring you a good mix of the different things that you can see and do as you go across the state. And most of them are right off the highway, so they don't take you out of your way.
That's right.
With that, if you've enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We sure appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, watch for the button up here at the end of the video. When you tap that, you can ring the notification bell and you'll know when all of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.